Hello students, today we are going to take the topic reflection of light through a prism. Now this is a prism I am holding in my hand. This you can see a prism here. Now a triangular prism, glass prism has two triangular bases. Now you can see this is a triangular base here and that's back side also triangular and three rectangular surface. One rectangular surface, two rectangular surface and this is third rectangular surface. So a triangular glass prism has two triangular bases and three rectangular surfaces. These surfaces are inclined to each other. This rectangular base and this rectangular base has inclined to each other, and this angle which is made here, this angle is known as angle of the prism. Now let us see how the reflection of light takes place through a prism. This is the diagram I have drawn here. This is a glass prism here having a triangular face here. This is PE is the incident ray. PE is the incident ray that is going inside the prism. Now as we know that the ray of light which goes from rarer medium to a denser medium, it bends towards the normal. So glass, as we know, is a normal, glass is a denser medium than as compared to the air, and this is the normal I have drawn here. So the light will bend up towards the normal because it is going from rarer medium to denser medium, and therefore EF is the refracted ray. EF is the refracted ray which is bending towards the normal. Now when the ray of light goes from denser medium to rarer medium, that is when it goes outside, then it will bend away from the normal, and so this Fs is the emergent ray. PE is the incident ray, EF is the reflected ray, and as the ray comes outside, so Fs is the emergent ray. Now let us see the angles. This angle between the incident ray and the normal is known as angle of incidence, and the angle between the refracted ray and the normal is known as angle of refraction, and the angle between the emergent ray and the normal is known as angle of emergence. Now if there is no glass prism, the incident ray might have gone straight without any deviation, but since there is a glass prism, the ray of light bends and two times, one entering it towards EF and then when it is going outside. So the angle between the emergent ray and the incident ray is known as angle of deviation, as it has deviated from its path, and this angle, as I have already told, that this angle is known as angle of prism. So this is the ray diagram showing the reflection of light through a prism. As we have seen experimentally, the angle of prism plus angle of deviation is equals to angle of incidence plus angle of emergence. This relation holds true when reflection of light through a prism takes place. Now let us talk about the dispersion of white light by a glass prism. We should know what is dispersion. The phenomenon of splitting of white light into its constituent 7 color is known as dispersion. When a ray of light, white light, enters in the glass prism, it splits. You can see it splits into 7 color, and this color is given by the famous acronym, that is VIBGYOR. That is starting from lower end, it is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So the splitting of white light into its 7 constituent color is known as dispersion. Now why the dispersion takes place? This is due to the different colors of the light. Different color of the light, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. They bend through different angles with respect to the incident ray. They bend through different angles. So the light which bends the most is violet, and the light which bends the least is red. So different colors of the light bend through different angles with respect to the incident ray as they pass through a prism. The red color bends the least, whereas the violet color bends the most. Thus the rays of each color emerge along different path and thus becomes distinct. So that's why we are able to see the different colors, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. And this phenomenon is known as dispersion of white light. Now let us study the recombination of spectral column. Isaac Newton was the first to use a glass prism to obtain the spectrum of sunlight that we have seen earlier. Now he tried to split the color of the spectrum. He tried to split the color of the spectrum using another similar prism. The color that we have received here, that is between from violet to red, he tried to split this color further by putting a similar prism. However, he could not get any more colors. So what he did then is he placed a similar prism, but this time it is in the inverted form. So after that, what happened is he allowed the ray of light, these spectrum of light to enter into the inverted prism, and this allows all the colors to combine together and a white light is emerged out from the another prism, that is the inverted prism. And this leads to the conclusion that the sunlight is made up of 7 colors.